So as I've started to get a little bit older, I also gotten a little bit smarter, because when I was a young dude, right, I didn't really think about health because I felt like I was invincible, right? Most young dudes do because we're dumb. But unfortunately, the truth is that as you age, a lot of the choices that you made when you were younger start to catch up with you. And unfortunately, if you're doing some of the things that we're talking about in today's video, you are destroying your health. And real quick, before I get started, little disclaimer. Even if your friends are doing them, even if you see a lot of people on social media doing the stuff that we're talking about, it doesn't mean that it's okay. It may be normal, it may be common, but it's going to hurt you in the long run. And personally, I want you to be awesome and kicking ass and dropping D's on my videos for as long as possible. First thing I want to talk about is steroids. Period. If you're doing it, stop. The biggest mistakes that I see young dudes making is that they're comparing themselves physically to dudes that are on performance-enhancing drugs, right? And unfortunately, they think, hey, they're famous, they're rich, they're good-looking, they got girls, they got money, they're driving nice cars. I should get on it, right? If I'm bigger and stronger, I'm going to get more girls, I'm going to make more money, I'm going to feel incredible. When the truth is that you are effing up your body long-term. And even if some dudes are like, no, it's not hurting me, it's hurting them. And even if they don't want to admit it, it is. Whether or not it's your testosterone level, your heart, gentlemen, bottom line is this: you do not need it. You can have an incredible body if you're consistent. If you work out consistently, if you eat right consistently, which brings me to number 2. Stop eating like shit. Eat better food, higher quality food, all right? You gotta stop eating all the trash. You gotta stop making all the bad decisions when it comes to what you're consuming, both from a food perspective, but also a drink perspective. If you're drinking all those energy drinks, they're terrible. If you're drinking a lot of sugar, like sodas, terrible. Gentlemen, also the diet drinks, they're not any good either because of aspartame, all right? I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm telling you, I've seen research and data that shows that drinking 1 Diet Coke a day increases your risk as a man of developing prostate cancer by 50%. You gotta pay attention to what you're consuming. You also need to make sure that you're working your ass out. I'm not going to go into a big long thing about the importance of working out. At this point, you've heard me talk about it 6,287 times. You got to work out. You got to take care of your body. If you're not, it will fall apart. It will fail you. Which brings me to number 4. You getting sexy with people you shouldn't be getting sexy with, or unprotected sexiness. Gentlemen, let me just throw it out there like this. If you don't want to get somebody pregnant, wrap your rascal. If you don't want to get an STD, wrap your rascal. Doesn't mean you still can't get crabs. They're going to itch, but you can get rid of them. But there are certain STDs that if you get them, they're going to be with you literally for life. You also can destroy your testicles, not to mention your sperm. And unfortunately, a lot of the STDs that dudes get, as men, you can't tell right away. And a woman, even though she says like, yo, I'm a virgin, don't believe the hype. You got to make sure you're wrapping that rascal. Be safe so you don't get somebody pregnant or you don't get an STD. Number 5 is you are neglecting your mental health. Basically, you're not dealing with the shit you need to deal with. Maybe you've had bad things happen to you. Maybe you have never dealt with it. Maybe there are people that have upset you. Maybe you're super stressed out. Maybe you've got crazy high anxiety. Maybe you just need somebody to talk to get it off of your chest. That's what happened to me. Guys, I have talked about the importance of therapy for me, right? It's something that I did. I've done multiple times in my life. If you are somebody that is ready to take control of your life and your happiness and your mental health, I want you to hit that link down below and check out today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. Now, the one thing I just want you to understand, you don't need to have some type of mental health disorder like depression or anxiety to utilize a therapist. It's a tool. Think of it as a tool. Anybody can utilize this tool if they want to be happier and healthier and approach life and their mentality in a different way. And this is the thing that really helped me, right? Therapy was amazing for me. It also helped me deal with a lot of the issues that I had a difficult time letting go. And oftentimes, guys, it's this third-party perspective that's going to help you identify it, but then give you the tools that you need in order to help deal with it and move yourself forward. BetterHelp's mission is pretty amazing. It's to make finding a therapist more affordable and more accessible, which is amazing because depending on where you live, sometimes you may not have access to a wide range of therapists. But BetterHelp, it makes finding a therapist easier because everything is online. It's remote. All you have to do is answer a few questions and they're going to match you with a professional therapist in as little as a few days. And guys, signing up is super easy. I got a link down in the description. It's my link that you can go through to get 10% off your first month of therapy. It's betterhelp.com/alpha-M. That's betterhelp.com/alpha-M. Go through there, sign up, answer a few questions to see if a therapist can help you. The other thing that I love so much about BetterHelp is that they allow you to actually change therapists at no additional cost. Because, therapy is a lot like dating, right? The first person you meet may be perfect, but chances are you may have to try a few different ones to find that perfect person that's going to be able to best help you, right? BetterHelp allows you to change without stressing out about like finding a new therapist in your network, none of that. Guys, I want you to hit that link down below if you're ready to take control or you're struggling. It's betterhelp.com/alpha-M. Once again, it's betterhelp.com/alpha-M. If you go through my special link, guys, you're going to get 10% off your first month of therapy. The next thing that will literally destroy your health is chronic stress or anxiety. Guys, you have to. It's critical that you find a way to manage it. For me, my stress relief is exercise. Every single day, I'm exercising twice a day. It's what I do for my mental health, but also to relieve stress. You also need to make sure that you're getting better sleep, which is the next tip. Guys, stop thinking you're missing something. You're not, right? FOMO is a real thing. You need to make sleep a priority because the truth is, if you're not getting enough sleep, everything in your life is going to go to shit. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to look good. You're not going to have the mental capacity to deal with stress or anxiety. Guys, it starts with sleep. It's critical that you start making sleep a priority because if you're getting crap or trash sleep, there's no way that you're going to be as successful. There's no way you're going to be as healthy because a lot of research and data shows that if you're not getting 7-8 hours of solid slumber a night, all sorts of havoc breaks loose in your body. Everything from heart to weight, you're going to get man boobs, not to mention stress and anxiety. You're also just going to not enjoy life as much as you should. The next thing you got to stop doing is drinking and smoking weed. I'm also going to toss in cigarettes or nicotine. Guys, even if you're like, nicotine's not bad, marijuana's not bad, it is not good, right? I'm just throwing it out there. You are doing your body a disservice if you are abusing alcohol, drinking too much, or smoking cigarettes. Nicotine is not in and of itself bad, but it's all the carcinogens and chemicals that are in cigarettes or in the smokeless tobacco. I know because I used to have a 2-can-a-day dipping habit. Right? It was one of the things that I gave up, and I am the most proud of doing that. It was hard as hell, but I did it because I didn't want to be that dude that 10, 20, 30 years from now has mouth cancer. I have to get my jaw removed when I knew better. Gentlemen, you know better, so stop it. If you need to get a patch, get a patch. If you need to go to hypnosis, go to hypnosis. Stop self-destructing. Let me just clarify. I'm not trying to be like the fun police. I'm just letting you know that these things that you think are no big deal are a big deal. And if they're not a big deal now, they're going to be a big deal. It's about preventative maintenance, which is the next thing we got to talk about. You not going for regular checkups. Guys, I know that as a dude, this is one of the things that we struggle with. We're like, I'm fine. I thought I was fine. And so I decided, why not go and get a colonoscopy? 5 precancerous polyps. Guys, the beautiful thing is that there are things that they can detect now that if you find out, you can fix them. But a lot of times when we don't go to the doctor, we don't go to regular checkups, we don't go to the dentist, right? Things just progress. And by the time we know there's a problem, it may potentially be too late. The last thing we got to talk about is your dopamine levels are effed up in terms of like your brain. Gentlemen, dopamine is an amazing chemical, right? It gives us motivation to do things. But because you're spending so much time on these social media platforms, scrolling and flipping, right? Every time you do, every time you look, boom, little hit of dopamine. Every time you go on to look at sexy naked boobies and vagina, yeah, exactly, boom, hit a dopamine. Then you go back, boom, hit a dopamine. Gentlemen, we are facing a dopamine epidemic as men and as a world, basically. All the looking, all the scrolling, all the this nonsense is effing our brains up. It's going to make us not as happy. It's going to make us not as motivated to go out and achieve and kick ass. Gentlemen, you gotta get it in check. If it means removing some social media apps, remove them. You're not missing anything. Now, at first, you're gonna be jonesing for a hit because we're literally like crackheads, handsome ass crackheads, but a crackhead looking for, that next hit. Gentlemen, you gotta get off it. You gotta chill. You gotta reset that dopamine level so you can reset your life.